I think. Let's see. Okay, cool. And 1, 2, 3. Hey, I think that we are live, man. Yeah, it's working.
Cool.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're with Miguel here. We are going to chat about VFX and sculpt a little bit.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, cool. Oh, we started. We have one person in YouTube.
Nice, nice.
One is one. So how's it going, man? You are all good?
Yeah, so far we're good, man. Just trying to stay creative, just like everybody else.
How is everything in LA?
And LA is a little bit weird, man. It's a lot of homeless people. They're everywhere now, and underneath freeways is starting to become a big problem now. But other than that, everything else seems okay.
You guys have the forest fires now, right?
Yeah, they're toning down. I'm close to them, so it was pretty bad the last couple weeks. But yeah, it's been pretty bad. It's like really bad air quality and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, we got some of that smoke from LA in
Mm.
Vancouver. It's
Yeah, it's
alright.
crazy, man.
So what you're doing now? What you're going to do?
So I'm going to work on this guy that I started on my Pixelogic stream. This kind of crab-looking character that I kind of want to do a large print of, but I'm also probably going to do a full body. But I just kind of just blocked it in real quick.
Nice.
But a lot of the stuff that I'm doing recently, or most of the stuff that I do for just for live sessions, are mostly for 3D printing.
Yeah, right. You're doing quite a bit of that.
Yeah, yeah, I've been doing it for maybe now like 8 years or so.
Oh
So,
wow.
it's been a while. I've been through a lot of the ups and downs of 3D printing when things didn't work compared to now almost everything is plug and play.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's
yeah,
now
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot easier.
That's very cool. I never did any printing. I never print any of my models. I did some of the not the miniatures, the toys for Pacific Rim, but I never
Uh,
got one. But I did some of the toys,
mm.
the collectibles, but
Oh, nice.
I never see them. I think that we are not even how you call it. We are not in the credits or anything of that.
Oh, yeah, that happens a lot to me too when I was in VFX. So, you get an asset and you help it make it printable, and then you don't see it, and then you see eventually something that's real, and then nobody gives you credit for it.
No, 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 no. No one gives you credit. But it's okay.
It's okay. You know you did it, and other people know you did it, so it's all good, right?
Yeah, it's fine, man. Why would it's the system, VFX is like that. We
Yeah.
we all know that it's like that.
Yeah, you
Even in
just kind of
movies,
get used to it.
even in movies, that we work a lot. Sometimes happen that we don't get credits.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's happened to me many times. I know one of the first times I was kind of a little upset, but after a while it's all good. You'll get credit on the next one. No big deal.
You can do nothing. You can do anything about that. So how is the film industry now in LA?
It seems to be a little slow, especially with all this COVID stuff. Is everything's slowing down, but it seems to be in the last 2 3 weeks. I heard a lot of people going back to work, so it could be good for the rest of the rest of LA and everywhere else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, here in Vancouver it didn't stop pretty much. It was, I mean, at least in DNEC didn't stop.
Ah, good. It's good. So you've been busy.
I've been very busy
Oh, that's
lately.
good.
I have been very busy lately. I don't know if it's good.
Well, it's good, and especially with the holidays coming, it's maybe good to take a break. Then.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you ever go back home or anything, or you always stay in
I
Vancouver?
go back home time to time, maybe a couple of times a year. No, no, sorry, every 2 years. So I try to go as much as possible, but it's not always possible.
I see.
I have a 40 hours flight to get there.
Oh, Yes, then that's not an easy. That's not an easy one at all.
Yeah, it's a long flight, man.
Yeah. How old are you, anyways?
I'm 33, 33.
Oh, okay, that's a good age.
Yeah, I still not super old, still not
Yes. Yeah.
super young.
I know what you mean, man. I'm like 39, and I feel like I'm super old. I'm like, that's it. I can't stay up late, and used to do a lot of the fun things that I used to do just because I get tired easily now.
Yeah, the body starts to hurt.
Yeah, but that's good. It's a good age, man. That you can still do those long flights.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still doing a lot of exercise and stuff. So,
Oh, that's good.
I'm going to open the smoke. Let's see, because I did the I started with this guy with the Barlog from Lord of the Rings. And now I need to do the other one. I need to do the dragon. I'm trying to just starting them and get a base for them, and from there I need to start making all the detail and posting them and that kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I was checking out your Delta Mush tips and tricks. The thing that's a pretty good way to think about it. I usually don't even think about it for concept stuff, but it's pretty good for posing and keeping all the proportions and all the rigging
Oh,
nightmare stuff.
I use it for everything, man. I use that for pretty much everything. If even the other day I was doing this guy. Where is it? Where is my other zombie? So I was doing this guy, and oops, that's the bump one. Where is my material? Oh, okay, skin material. I was doing this guy, and I did a very fast rig in Blender. I have it in T-pose. I did a very fast rig in Blender. I did the clothing in Marvelous Designer in the T-pose. And I did a rig. I pose it, and after that I export an alembic with that pose from the bind pose to the pose. I took it to the Mesh 3D, fix it, export the alembic, bring it in Marvelous Designer, simulate the cloth in that, bring it to here, was all perfect. And the rig, I spent like 15 or maybe 10 minutes in the rig. Even the fingers, they were a bit broken and that kind of thing with the rig.
Yeah.
But I can fix that. I fixed that in 2 seconds in Mesh.
Oh, nice, man.
Takes 2 minutes. You just make a couple of delta meshes, some clone brushes, and you're done.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start incorporating that into my concept workflow. I usually have, I don't want to rig all the stuff up because it's a pain if you don't have a lot of time. So
Yeah.
I think that's gonna help speed that up.
Yeah. I mean, depends, because I use an auto rig, So I just
Maya one or a different one?
No, I use the Blender one.
Oh, Blender one. Yeah, I've been trying to learn Blender too recently, but I haven't quite gotten the hang of it.
It takes a little bit, but it's pretty good, man. Honestly, it's very good.
Is there any special plugins you're using or anything like that?
Auto Rig Pro is what I use for. I don't know why my materials are looking all very weird. I don't know. I did something, and I don't know what, but now everything looks a bit strange. Okay, cool. I use Auto Rig Pro. Yeah.
Oh,
It's very good, man. It's very good.
Did you adapt to how do you adapt to all the shortcuts being different from Maya? Did you try to replicate the Maya workflow, or did you try to just go with the?
No, I just go with it. I just go with Blender way.
I think that was my problem. Like the last couple of weeks, I was trying to make it like Maya, and I think it doesn't like to conform to Maya, like shortcuts and everything the way you usually work in Maya. So maybe I need to take a different approach at it.
I mean, the only thing that I change is that I like to press with the right button. Use the right button for selecting things. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Because Blender, before the other times I tried to learn Blender a couple of times, and actually I couldn't learn it the first times was very difficult. Blender in like a couple of years ago, like 5 years ago, I wasn't able to learn it. It was too much for me. You select the stuff with the right click instead of the left click, and I was
Yeah.
getting crazy with that.
Yeah, I know. I think I tried using like in version 2.4, and I was like, no, I can't. I can't get the hang of it yet. But maybe I'm trying now again to see if it's gonna be easier. But we'll see.
It has some very cool stuff, man. Some stuff for modeling is pretty cool. It's some stuff that is very very good.
Yeah, that's what I made. I was kind of like, oh, let me give it a try, and it looks like the render is pretty nice too. So
Cyclist is nice. Yeah, Cyclist is nice. I'm trying to do a short film in Blender. I was
Oh, that's
streaming
cool.
a little bit of it, but now I need like stuff coming from animation. I need the shots,
Hmm.
and yeah,
Is it a
I
full CG short, or is it like live action
it's
and CG?
no full CG,
Nice.
full CG. During the So you work in Nvidia 9 hours, like 8 hours a day as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been working a lot the last couple months ever since COVID. So I've been pretty busy, even working a little bit late nights, but it's all good. It's all for a good cause. So
Nice, man. Okay, cool.
yeah, for some reason I thought you were in London. I didn't think you were in
I was
Vancouver.
in London. I was in
Okay.
London. I was in London for 5 years,
Okay. That makes
and
sense. That's the reason I thought you were in London.
yeah, I was in London for 5 years, and after actually the year of the summit, I moved to Vancouver.
Okay. That was like 2 years, 3 years ago or something like that,
Yeah, in
right?
2018 was right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. For
that
you guys that don't know, that's when we met. I think we met at the summit, right?
yeah, we met in the summit.
Yeah.
That summit was pretty cool. Was a nice place. I enjoyed a lot the summit.
Yeah, I miss that now, man. Especially this month, when it's or last month that it was happening. So I'm glad it
The
did.
one the one that I want to really go is Monster. What's the name?
Oh,
Monster.
Monster Palooza.
Yeah, that one. And it's another one. Which one is the most famous one?
Well, there's Monster Palooza and then there's Son of Monster Palooza. So I think probably the one you want to go to is Monster Palooza.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I do that show every year too for the last like 7-8 years I've been doing that. So it was kind of disappointment that they canceled it, but it's for the best. No, you don't want to get people
Yeah,
sick.
it's not the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's mostly the reason why I do a lot of the things that I do for the stream or this type of stuff is to 3D
Yeah.
print it, show it there, sell some copies, and I get to talk to a lot of people, kind of people that want to do this and don't know how to get into it. So I kind of help them, like, to kind of give them step by step of like, if you have one, if you do it in clay or do a 3D print, then here's the next steps that you should try to do for casting, molding, save money if you do it yourself, or pay somebody if you don't have the time. So that way you could get stuff on your table.
Yeah.
And sometimes years later, you'll see people that actually went through it and actually put the hard work in and are actually, they have their own table with 10, 20 pieces, which is awesome.
I didn't know that you knew Amilcar.
Yeah. I met him at Master Meluza, actually.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, through
He's
another friend. And then he was speaking Spanish. I was like, dude, another guy that speaks Spanish. That's awesome. I don't see too many people. So, you start to click with people, and yeah, we clicked, and then I invited him over to hang out when he was here.
yeah, he's awesome. He's very nice.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
really
yeah.
like his artwork. So a lot of his,
Oh,
I'm a big fan of
he's
his work.
he's very good.
Yeah,
His stuff is very good. He has some very cool
I
drawings.
think. Yes, yes. I really there was one. I used to have a pet chameleon like many years ago, and it was one of my favorite pets. And he did a kind of a creature that resembled a chameleon. So I was like, dude, I love that thing. Can I buy it now? Let me buy it. You know. So I bought his original, and it's an amazing piece. It's really cool. But it's nice that he's doing 3D now because I think when I met him, he was only mostly doing some sculpting and but mostly 2D. So it's nice to
Yeah,
see
I think
him.
that he was working in Sideshow, right?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
He was working in Sideshow and he was drawing. He has some. I was saying watching his drawings. He has some amazing stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he has some really, really cool stuff. And he's really humble too, which is nice because sometimes you meet some of these guys and they have a big ego. He was really humble and really like open to questions about his creative process. So that was really cool.
Yeah, he's. I actually we wanted to do a series of streams with him about he wanted to learn a bit more how to work in production,
Mm.
and so we're still in that. We are going to do a series of streams of I will show him how to do blade shapes and that kind of stuff, and he every 2 or 3 weeks he will come and show what he did and all that kind of things. So
Oh, that's
that's pretty
awesome,
cool.
man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's really good for anybody getting into this. It's kind of very inspiring, right? To see somebody try it. And sometimes it's not easy, but if you keep sticking to it and you have the right guidance, you can actually do it.
Yeah, man, definitely. Oh, here is Santiago Bontrago saying hello, hey man, and Juan Camilo Campo, hey man.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
We were streaming with the guys of Dynamite the other day.
Uh,
That was pretty cool. They have a Discord
mm,
and they invite us and to one of their streams. It was super cool, man. They're very nice. They're like 400 in there. They did a nice community, and it's
oh,
all
that's really cool.
there's where I meet the guy that I don't remember his name, but he said that he knows you.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
That
I wonder
that
which
you
one he is.
that you are his mentor.
Oh, okay. I mentor a few people from time to time, so it's hard to remember all their names, but I'm sure if I see a picture of him or somebody's artwork, I'll remember. Is he a Spanish guy or what
I think that's
nationality is
from
he
I think
from?
that's from Mexico. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Please don't. Oh.
Hey, have you done much Boolean in ZBrush while streaming?
No,
Because I noticed
no.
in the last couple times, like every time I try doing any Boolean stuff, it starts to slow my stream down like crazy. So
Oh, really?
wasn't sure if it was just my machine. Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that it's the booleans, right? Because the booleans use the booleans are pretty. They can get pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, yeah, but usually it's like something super simple. So I was very surprised that in this last version I had like hiccups where like it seems to kind of freeze everything, and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
I had that sometimes rotating the screen.
Oh, interesting.
Time to time I have it, and it's very weird and it's very annoying as well.
So are you do you teach or anything like that as well, or do you just
I
mostly just work a lot?
I used to teach. I used to teach, but I stopped. The thing is
Oh,
that the thing is that time to time I do freelances.
mhm.
If I get a freelance, I will not sleep for a couple of weeks. Because the freelance I get, for example, is make this creature and you have 3 weeks, and needs to work for production. It's it's not enough time most of the time.
I see.
So yeah, I stopped teaching. But I would like to get into that again.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just, but yeah, it's very time consuming sometimes.
Yeah, it takes time. Everything takes time. Now what I'm trying to do is I want to get a little bit into see if I can get into the collectible industry a little bit. I'm very
Oh, that's
interested
cool,
in that.
man.
I'm very interested in that. You know, trying to figure out this guy. So you watch what you do in your free time? You watch movies? What do you do?
Yeah, I try to watch movies, but mostly hang out with my kids, But I've been watching I've been watching some TV shows actually. I've been watching the Lovecraft Country, I think it's called. It's pretty interesting.
Which one? Which one?
Lovecraft Country.
Okay,
It's
it's
like a new
good.
TV show, kind of like a horror. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like the first two episodes are really good, and then the next two were bad, but now the last two were pretty good. So it's kind of worth sticking around for, I think.
So it's getting there.
Yeah, but it has some nice creatures, so that's mostly the reason I'm watching it. It has some
Okay,
really
so
nice creature
okay, I'm going
design.
to watch it then.
Yeah, I would recommend it for the creature design. It's pretty cool.
Which ones are your favorite creature designers?
Mostly Simon Lee for sure.
Yeah.
There's like Paul Komoda, um, Jordan Duchel, a lot of the old school like Carlos Huante, those type of older school, I guess designers.
Yeah, I like Carlos as well. Well, when I started, I was watching. I mean, I started when I was around 18, something like that, in this because I didn't know that this exists. And I remember that I was doing Aaron Sims tutorials, and
The one with the
also
alien.
no, the one with the Velociraptor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
I think
about.
that is the one of the first Gnomon video tutorials, right?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
Gnomon? I think that was Gnomon.
yeah. It was Noman.
Oh, now it's working very slow. This.
Oh, is it still trying to save, or what is it doing?
No. It's just a sculpting. Got too slow, but
Oh,
that's fine. And also I did and Carlos Wante did one of sculpting. No, sculpting no. Was painting in Corel Painter.
yes, I
And
remember those tutorials.
I did that one as well. And yeah, he's a very good creature designer. He's very good.
What are some of your I guess creature
My
designs that inspire you?
Well, honestly, I learned ZBrush from the books of Maddie Spencer, right?
Hmm.
And watching videos of Carlos Guante, watching Aaron Sims videos, watching which one else? No, I think that was mostly Madeline Spencer, because they were the first ones with ZBrush, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They were some of the first ones with that, using ZBrush and all that kind of things. Um, so I started watching them, and after I saw Lord of the Rings and say, oh, I need to go to New Zealand, I went to New Zealand.
Nice.
Yeah. And there I met Maddie Spencer. Maddie Spencer was my teacher for a little bit. I did some of her workshops there.
She was teaching in London or at Weta, right? Or
In New Zealand. I was working in Auckland, and she did some classes, some workshops in Auckland.
oh, okay, cool.
So I met her there. And yeah, and we start to get in contact, and after we start to work together.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you guys gave a presentation out right at
Yeah,
the
yeah, we
summit.
did it together. Yeah, yeah. All right.
What about you? Watching any TV shows or any movies recent that inspire
Uh,
you?
Honestly, I just finished to watch all the Lord of the Ring ones. Lord of
Nice.
I watch all of the Lord of the Ring ones and all of the Hobbit ones, all of them, because I'm doing this thing of the fight between Smog and the Balrog, and I wanted to watch them and see what some of the get inspired for some of the art that happened there, right?
Oh, nice.
And also the I mean the one of the guys that inspire me a lot nowadays is you mentioned it, Simon Lee. That guy is amazing, man.
Yeah, yeah, he's a big inspiration. Ever since I found out about him many years ago, he's still inspiring me.
It's crazy. All his stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Huh. So what's your favorite you're more of sci-fi, or you like more fantasy movies?
That's a tough one, man. I want to say maybe more sci-fi, but I grew up with all the classic stuff, so I'm all over the place. Like from Pumpkinhead to like Terminator to what else, like Freddy Krueger, those type of things, or even like stuff. I guess more recent, like the cave, like those cave monsters, or even Lord of the Rings stuff. All that stuff is super inspiring.
You like Star Wars and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm a huge nerd. Like, I used to go to Comic Con every year until this pandemic happened last year. Like last year, I didn't really go because I was too busy, but
Yeah.
I was going for the last like 18, 20 years, So I was a comic book fan and that type of stuff.
Ah, nice. So you're a big superhero fan.
I used to be, like back in high school, because that's what I wanted to do, right? In high school, and I was like, well, what am I going to do for school and my career and that type of stuff? And I wanted to be
Yeah.
a comic book artist, so I used to draw a lot. But then after I started doing 3D, I kind of didn't think back until any comic book stuff, until I
Mm,
started working on all the Marvel movies. Then it kind of rekindled back like my love for comics again.
right.
But I was
I don't.
mostly always into the comics that people weren't into, like the Image comics, like Spawn and
Right.
more darker stuff. Not really like two superheroes, like Superman or Batman and that type of stuff.
Yeah. Spawn. I actually Spawn is one of the only comics I really like. I really like Spawn.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's so dark. For me, it's like that. That's the type of art
You know
and
that
comics
would
I
be a good
like.
movie. That would be a very good movie.
Yeah, I heard they're actually remaking one now. They were working on one right before the COVID with Jamie Foxx, but I'm not sure if they continued it or not. But I think it would be good to see that now with the technology.
Yeah, man. That would be a very good one. I definitely would like to work in that one.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Normally, I don't like to work in superhero movies because gets to it's I don't know, it's always the same. But the Spawn, I would like to work in a Spawn. That would be a good one.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be a good one to work on. So, which 3D print you would recommend if someone wants to start?
Well, it depends on your budget, and also the size. Like, what are you going to be printing? Large stuff, small stuff. I would say if you're getting started, maybe just start with like the $200 like Elegoo Mars, they give you really nice quality, and you get to get your feet wet, and then you can see if even you like doing it or not,
Mm-hmm.
because it's kind of a lot of work too. It's not
Yeah.
like just like regular printers, right? Like paper printers where you just print it, it's done. It's like you have to cure it, you have to post process it. It's a lot of other steps after you print it, So I would say try not to spend a lot of money in the beginning, and if you really do like it, then spend the money on a more
Right.
expensive, higher end printer. Yeah. Well, what a lot of people do too is kind of go in with other people that like or want to do something similar to what you're doing, and
Mm-hmm.
then maybe buy a printer together, and then everybody kind of shares it
All right. Yeah.
because it's much easier, less expensive, and then it's always being used compared to like sometimes people buy printers and then they don't use them for months, and then by the time they do use them 6 months later, there's a better, cheaper alternative. So I would
Sure.
suggest maybe just try to maybe team up with somebody else and then share the costs and share the printing. You know.
Yeah. Actually, I need a place to put it because I'm in the apartment. You know, I will know. I will be dead. At the end of at some point. I don't have
Yes.
ventilation.
That's the other thing too. It's pretty toxic too. So you got to make sure ventilation is good, either in the garage or somewhere near a window, something that's not going to kill you.
Juan Camilo is asking, what do you think about Avatar 2?
I don't know, man. I'm not really that excited for Avatar 2. I feel like I was 5 years ago when people were like, "Oh, they're making 2 and 3 back to back and all this stuff," and then now I'm kind of like, I'm all right. If it doesn't if it's not groundbreaking, I don't really care for it too much. But I don't know. It could be fun, I guess. What about you? What do you think?
Um, I don't know. I think that Weta have that kind of things that each time that they do a big production, they just blow the VFX industry. They do it every 10 years, more or less. They did with the Lord of the Rings, they did with Avatar 1. So I kind of I want to see what's happened with Avatar 2, right?
Yeah, it would be cool to see what new technology they have and new creature designs and all that stuff. That would be pretty awesome. But I don't know. There's just so many movies out there now that it's you never know when you're gonna find something that's amazing that nobody even thought about it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Well, now we are finishing. We finish Dune.
Wow, cool.
That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah. That's supposed to be. I tried watching the original and I couldn't sit through it, man. Like, it was
Me either.
it's just too slow for me. I literally had to fast forward to see what happens, and then I was kind of lost, and I was like, I guess I'll wait to the remake, and then maybe that's gonna get me excited about it.
It happened exactly the same to me, man.
Yeah,
It
just because
happened.
I didn't grow up with it, like it's like the same thing with Blade Runner. Like I like Blade Runner, but like never watched it when it came out, so I don't
Yeah,
know too much about it. And then when I went back to watch it, it feels kind of, like the technology is not up to date, so you feel kind of weird watching it.
yeah. Well, it happened with me with some of the guys. They start to a couple of the guys start to recommend me some movies to me, and one was Labyrinth. No, Labyrinth of the Fauno was the
Pan's
other one.
Labyrinth, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Pan's
uh,
Labyrinth, right?
with John Bowie, right?
Yeah. Yes, I
Uh,
couldn't watch that one either. I tried and I could not watch it.
I could not watch it, and they were laughing and saying, "Man, I can't watch that, I can't go past that puppets."
Yeah, exactly. Even the same thing with what are they called? Maybe it is Labyrinth. Whatever they remade the TV show on Netflix, but it was from an old movie. Who is it? Who was it? They have really cool creature designs, but the puppets kill me because it's like, dude, they just don't look right, or they just don't move correctly.
Right. Well, that happened, right? I mean, the technology went so far that I'm very excited
Yeah,
about the
actually, yeah, you're
new.
right. The Labyrinth, yeah. I tried. That's the one, but I tried watching it again with my daughter, and I was like, let's not watch this. This is not.
It's
I
not
can't
good enough.
continue watching it.
No, I can see that. My eyes are
Yeah.
burning.
But that happens even with old movies that I like. Like I was a big fan of ET growing up, like the ET phone home, that guy with the glowing finger.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you ever saw that during the 80s, but then I tried watching it and I get like it was so bad, like it's so terrible. So I'm like, I'd rather just keep it in my brain the way it was when I watched it when I was a kid.
I still watch. I don't know. I don't know. Are a couple of movies that they continue being they continue being good. But most of the
Yeah,
movies
which
I
ones are good ones for you?
well, people doesn't like it, but I mean, I like The Hobbit. Even if people doesn't like it, I actually like it. Um, Dragon Heart is very good. Dragon Heart is the name.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Dragon Heart was good. The other one, oh, Juan Camilo is asking Interstellar. Interstellar is great.
I haven't
I
watched it.
You didn't watch
I feel bad.
Interstellar?
No, I need to watch it. I know that's supposed to be a really good one. I haven't watched
Oh,
it.
that's a good movie, man. Interstellar is a good movie. Oh, gracias, Diego. Um, yeah, Interstellar was very, very good. And the other one, which one was the other one? That one that I actually really liked, the Inception with
Yes,
Leonardo.
Inception was good.
That one was good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that one's really good. Actually, I just watched it recently again. I haven't watched it in years, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a good movie."
This is a very good movie. It's the kind of movies that you can watch a couple of times, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I
I
mean, it's
feel
very
like I think the recent movies, like you can't watch them again and again. Where like I feel like movies that were made 10 years past, like sometimes you could watch again and again, and some of the latest ones in the last 10 years have not been like, I guess, don't retain the value of watching over and over.
yeah, the things that they've been very bad.
Yeah,
They are not very good movies lately, right?
yeah. I haven't seen. I can't even think of a good one that I have watched in the last year.
I mean, from the last movies I work, I think I didn't work in any good movie in the last 5 years.
Mm.
I mean, Pacific Rim was a very bad movie.
The second one, I don't know, man. Like it had, I wanted to watch it because I love kaiju's, but like some of the, I guess, it wasn't great compared to the first one, like story
Nah,
wise.
nah, it was bad.
But it was nice eye candy. It was really cool eye candy of like things getting destroyed and cool creature designs. It's just like the story wasn't all there, right?
Yeah, the story was bad, man. The story was bad, and I mean, it was very fun to work on it. Work on it was a blast.
Yeah,
Work on it was very, very cool. I'm going to save and restart ZBrush because something is not working here.
that's weird. As soon as you said that, my screen just went black.
I know
It's back now, but that was
my
weird.
ZBrush is being slow. I can't sculpt. My materials look weird. I'm going to restart. I'm going to save and restart.
Yeah, they look like they're illuminated, right? Like even the shadows aren't quite dark.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. If I did something, or time to time ZBrush has start to give me errors. I was painting today. And
Hey,
I
how's it
start to
going, Juan?
paint.
Yeah, I see. This was Juan, the one you were talking to.
I think that was one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was helping him out. Yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
Going to restart this thing. Oh, that's why it's going slow. I have Keyshot rendering in the background,
Yep, that would do it.
and I have Substance Painter open.
Oh man, yeah, that's gonna kill your performance. How
Now
much RAM do
makes
you have?
I have 64. Now makes totally sense.
Yeah, I don't think I'm running anything in the background. Let me check. No, I'm good. Yeah, I know what you mean. Sometimes I forget to press pause on Keyshot, and then it's running and it starts to chug the machine, and you're like, why? It's like,
Yeah, that was weird because I was trying to sculpt and everything was slow and bulky and weird and say, oh, I can't sculpt fast? What I'm doing? And yeah, I had all the softwares open in the background. Okay, let's save. Come on, go away. Keyshot. I'm going to pause you. I'm going to leave you there. And let's load ZBrush again. Miguel, are you there?
yeah. Can you hear
Ah,
me?
yeah. Got very quiet. You have one of the nice microphones, right? The ones that give
Yeah. I have one
you.
of those Yetis.
Yeah, that's why. When if you are not talking, you can't listen the Wacom or anything. It's pretty good.
Oh, I'm also using this new software that Nvidia came out with called RTX Voice, and
Oh,
basically any noise, anything you have on, like fan or AC or any background noise, it removes it, so you can't hear anything but the voice.
oh, cool. I'm going to get it because I have an RTX,
Yeah,
so
you
I
should give
think.
it a try. Yeah, it's really good, man. 'Cause especially if you have anything in the background accidentally, or even if you have an AC unit or fan going, like it blocks it all out.
Oh, nice. So how is it to work for Nvidia?
It's great, man. It's a great job. Get to work on tech and art, so it's a perfect combination for me because I love. Basically, I'm a tech gadget guy, so I'm always getting new cameras and new this and new that.
Yeah,
So it's pretty awesome to be in the tech plus the art. So it's a good combination for me.
nice. I'm going to for this project. Workshop. Call me to that tutorial for them. Oh, Juan Camilo is saying that you who you who workshops called him to do a tutorial for them.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Because of the yeah, the he did a really nice portrait of a indigenous person, I think, or yeah, really cool design he did.
Nice. Oh, good. Now it's
So what kind of
working.
hobbies do you have? What do you do for hobbies? What are some of the other things you do
My
outside of
hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies. I do martial arts.
Oh, nice.
I have doing them for a very long time.
What
Um,
martial art?
well, I started when I was 10 years old, and I started doing taekwondo when
Oh, okay, cool.
I did for quite a long time. And after that, I did Muay Thai, karate. I did MMA, and now I'm doing Jiu-Jitsu
Oh, nice, man.
here in Vancouver. I did MMA in London for quite a bit as well. Yeah, man, I did them all my life. So
Oh, that's really cool, man. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, in the last year I just started doing Wing Chun.
oh, that's cool. I like Wing Chun.
Yeah, just to kind of get me out of away from the computer.
Yeah, yeah. It makes sense.
What other hobbies do you have besides martial
Fishing,
arts?
outdoors. I
Oh,
do whatever is outdoors. I do it. I love outdoors.
nice.
I go fishing for salmon.
Oh, cool.
trout, yeah, camping, off-roading. I have a Jeep Wrangler. I love to take it off-roading and do all that kind of stuff.
Nice. That's cool, man. It's good to get out.
Yeah, I really like to be outdoors. I it's my happy times in summer in here in Vancouver. I can do whatever I want here.
Yeah, especially there, right? You're so close to the like 20 minutes away. You're outside and you're
Oh,
out in the wilderness, and it's so nice and
yes.
beautiful out there.
Yeah, man. I know what I'm doing. I think that my ZBrush got broken. Let's try. I have that time that sometimes I open ZBrush, and if I close it and I open straight away, I can't open it. I need to wait a
Oh,
little bit.
really?
Yeah, I think that that's my machine. Oh, here we go. Now it's working. And which ones are your hobbies?
For me, I like photography, mostly like macro photography. So I like taking pictures of insects anytime I can. So that's one of my
Oh,
big
that's cool.
hobbies. But I do that from time to time, depending on the weather. And what else? I used to do a lot of clay sculpting, but now not so recently.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else do I do? And I guess all the 3D printing, a lot of 3D printing.
Yeah, you're very involved in that, right?
Yeah. I've been doing it for so long. It's kind of just like become like my side thing that I do. I also 3D scan stuff. So I kind of go hand in hand. So I help a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
kind of 3D scan some of their traditional stuff, bring it to ZBrush, and then they take it to the next level. And then I help them print it out as well. So, to make prototypes for films or for their own action figures or whatever they're trying to do products.
That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Do you like to? I mean, do you work in collectibles before, or you just sell
No, never
your?
worked in collectibles.
But you sell your
I
prints,
just
right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just kind of do what Monster Palooza people do, just kind of make your own stuff and just sell it at shows, and that's about it. I don't really try to
Okay.
advertise it online. Yeah, but I guess I should. I just haven't really had the time. I always get too busy, but I should probably start putting my website together with updates because last time I updated was like a year and a half ago.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. Now it's all social media, so we need to do that.
Yeah.
Keep up to date.
Yeah, we need to get you printing, man, and get you to make your
Yeah,
first print, or
man.
you're gonna be hooked.
Yeah, I need to do my first print. I'm going to finish this project. Um, and when I finish this project, I'm going to talk with you and see what I need to do, how I do it, and I'm going to start from there because
Awesome, man.
it's going to be a pretty big print. So I really need to know how I'm going to do the sculpt and everything, and I
Hmm.
really need to know how to make it work because I have no idea how to make it work.
It's not that bad. You'll pick it up in no time.
Well, the things that the scale needs to be pretty big, right? Because the two things are pretty big.
Yeah. Or you could always just cut it into it, like cut the arms off and cut natural seams. So when you put it together,
Hmm.
it just fits perfectly. You can't really see where, especially with something that has scales, you could really hide a lot of things, you know.
Right.
It's mostly when you have like a naked human or something that has like soft skin, and if you're trying to cut the arms off, you'll notice where the seams are going to be at. But if you have something that is complex enough, you could really split it up, and you can't really tell where it got split. You know.
Yeah. 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 And how many? I mean, you know, depends of the creature. You do different cuts, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Depending on the creature, you know, if you wanted to make the head bigger, then you maybe cut at the jawline or somewhere, and then
Mhm.
you make the neck and the torso separate so that you can make it bigger.
Which printer you have now?
Right now, I have the Form 2, and I have a CR10, and I have a Race 3D,
Ah,
but
you
I
have a
have
couple of
two
them.
other printers coming in. Yeah, yeah, and then I have two other printers coming, which is like the Elegoo Saturn that I was recommending to you, and also a Peopoly Phenom L, which is like a large scale. Like I think you could print like 2 feet by like a foot or something like that. So it
Okay,
should
wait,
be
wait.
easy to
And
print
what
out
and what
helmets.
and what you do with all the printers?
I print a whole bunch of stuff for different people and for myself, you know.
All right.
So they all get used. It just you know, I don't really post any of that stuff online because it's all like, you know, like friends or other people's projects. So I don't, you know, it's up to them whenever they want to release that stuff and let me know. Then sure, it's all good.
Okay. Give me the address of your house. I'm going to start sending you some stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. You know, we could ship it out once it's printed out.
I didn't know there was a super it's a super big community of in South America, right? Of 3D and all this stuff, man.
Yeah, there is, man. There is. It's just
I
kind
did.
of it's I think unless you look in the Facebook forums and stuff like that, you start noticing like there is a lot of people out there that they're not in the States, but they're doing their thing, you know, and they're doing really nice work.
Yeah, yeah. It's a lot of people.
So you stream every week, or you stream every other 2 weeks, or how do you
I do it one time a week, right? It's one time a week, and I try to do it always with someone. Because
cool.
I get if not I get too bored, right?
Yeah, yeah, because then you have something to talk about. It's like if you were working at
Yeah,
work, but you're sitting just chatting about stuff. Yeah.
yeah. You chat about stuff and experiences. Actually, let's talk about that. How did you start in the industry? Because we didn't talk about that. How you did it? Because you're originally from Mexico, right?
No, I'm from the States, so I'm like first generation born here in the States.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I know a lot of people was like, "Oh, you came from Mexico." I was like, "Yeah, my parents did. I was born here." So, for me, it was like, yeah, I started off right after high school. I went to art school to learn 3D or to be a graphic designer, but I ended up doing 3D
Okay.
and doing the 3D program. And then from there, I found out that you can be a 3D modeler or 3D artist. So I kind of just kept diving in, you know.
Because you have
So
been in
right
the
after
industry
high
for
school, I
very
went to
long.
yeah, close to 20 years or something. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I didn't really have a break, you know. It's not like I went from high school to art school, and when I was in art school I got a job and I was trying to finish art school and do the job, so I just kept doing both things, and from then I never stopped, you know.
Yeah, I think that when we met, you were working in Method, right?
Yeah, 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 I was at Method. Yeah, we were working
Yeah.
on Infinity Ward. Yeah, we wrapped up on that.
How
Yeah,
was
that was
that?
a fun project too. It was good, man. It was you know, I started working at Method like 2 years before that. I working on Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
and it was a great studio. We got to set up the pipeline, and you know, I got to work myself up to be character supervisor there. So it was good. Got to do a lot of I guess a lot of changes for the good, you know, like how
Yeah.
things were done in other studios and what can be improved and that type of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, but then from there I just kept working, man. Like, you know, kept from job to job. I was a generalist for like the first 5 years of my career, just doing everything, you know, compositing, effects, everything. And then I was like, I don't really like doing these things. I need to really do creatures. So I had to like start putting in more work into like only doing creature work, and
Yeah,
less of the everything else.
yeah. I understand. It took me time to get there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You gain the experience and you find out where you're weak at, where you're strong at, and what you need to work on, and also what you like doing. 'Cause sometimes you do a few things and a year later you're like, I don't really like doing that. And
Yeah,
some people stay
true.
stuck with that because they're like, well, it pays the bills and I'm doing well. But for me, I was like, well, I'm doing well. I got to just keep pushing what I want to do because if not, I'm never going to do it.
The thing is, for me, when since I was a kid, you know, I only do what I want to do. If I don't like it, I don't do it. So if
Nice.
I had to find something that I like, you know, to actually study or to actually work, you know, because no one. I mean, I never liked work, you know. But now,
Right.
for me now work is fun. So you know, then it's good.
Right. Well, that's good, man. Yeah, you exactly. You got to have fun at work and you got to, if you're going to be working long hours, it better be worth it. It better be fun all the time, or at least most
It,
of the time.
it's a bit miserable, right? Imagine if you're working about things that you don't like, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to make sure you really love it because you're going to be working long hours with sometimes people you don't like or sometimes people that are really cool.
Juan Camilo is asking for this project, Lucas, do you play video games? Time to time, I play video games. Now I stopped. I have a, you know, every year I have a time where I get very tired. You know, every couple of years I get very tired of the VFX industry because of working long hours or just overworking. And I had to take a break for a couple of months. And in that months I play until I play a couple of games until I get inspired again. And I stop playing. I get inspired. I get burned working, and that's the cycle pretty much. I work until I get tired, and when I get tired, I play video games
Nice.
or go fishing. Now what I'm doing is go fishing. You know, I go fishing. I do fly fishing, so I go to the river, walk the river, take my dog, and you know, and try to enjoy a little bit the outdoors. Because now it's coming the winter, you know, and winter here is the only thing that I can do is go ski. I like ski as well.
Nice. What kind of dog do you have?
I have an American Eskimo. He's awesome. It's like how to say? It's like Samoyed. It's like a small version of a
Oh, okay.
Samoyed.
Nice.
Yeah, I love dogs. You know, you know what's the good thing about dogs? You can be the worst person in the world, but they will love you always. You know, it's unconditional.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I know what you mean about video games. I used to be all into video games, but at some point it's like I had so much work that I never had time to really play them.
Yeah, I honestly I stopped playing for a very long time. I didn't play games for at least 5 or 6 years, and I started to play again when I got I got the job that I wanted.
Hmm.
That's when I say, okay, I can relax now. I got the job. I'm doing what I like. I can stop, you know, waking up 5 a.m. to study for a little bit, and because I used to do that, you know, for learn anatomy, for learn all that kind of stuff. I used to wake up 5 a.m. Study until 7:30. No, sorry, until 8, and from there I got ready to go to work and finish work, go home, study until 1 more or less, and go to sleep. And I used to do that, you know. because I
Yeah,
was
that's what it takes, right? Like you got to practice. You got to put in the time.
yeah, yeah. It's a lot of that, you know. Takes lots of effort. Or at least to me, it took me a lot of effort. I didn't have the you know, in if I didn't have the chance to go and study in Vancouver Film School or one of these schools, you know, that have some partnerships with companies.
Hmm.
Uh, and again, if someone have the possibility of go to that schools, I think that is good because you save a lot of time. Normally, the trainers are professionals, so you save time. You know, you can learn everything by yourself. It's possible. I mean, I did it. But you will save time, you know, going to school. And time is important because it's the only thing that you can get back, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Um, but yeah, it took me a long time because I had to learn anatomy by myself. I had to learn a lot of things. Um, and I didn't start drawing when I was a kid, right? I mean, I always like art, but I never took it like seriously, or you know, or make drawing classes, or know that I wanted to do, you know, VFX or that kind of stuff. I realized I wanted to do that when I saw Lord of the Rings when I was around 18, right, or
Mm.
17. Um, I wasn't sure what I wanted, but when I saw Lord of the Rings, say, oh, I want to do that. You know, that was the movie that inspired me to do it.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, for me it was Terminator 2. Just seeing like you know, so many good shots in that movie, but like for me, like when the guy, the cop is getting something out of the vending machine, and then the other one just kind of morphs into him. You
yeah,
know, like for me that was amazing. I was like, one day I want to learn how to do that. You know,
yeah.
and when I was in school, I was like, one of my first things to do was like, I want to do that, replicate that. You know, like the Chrome guy becoming a figure. So it was pretty cool.
That's nice. But this size is not good. Yeah, I think that all my life got inspired by movies. I started martial arts because of the movies as well. You know,
Oh,
when you're
really?
a kid, you
Which
know.
movies?
Well, when I was a kid, I was watching all the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, Rocky, Bruce Lee. You know, I mean, I was
Oh,
very young. I was like kind of 3 4 years. I started when I was five. Oh no, I was five. When I was five, I started doing karate, and after that, I changed from cities, and I didn't do anything for a couple of years, but I came back to do more when I was around 10, I think. And it was always about movies, or you know
that's
the
cool, man.
or anime, you know, like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's awesome.
That's
That
really
that
cool, man.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, everything gets inspired. I mean, I think that, you know, pretty much everyone gets inspired by something. You know, movies or a book or. So what got you into art? You always wanted to know do it, or you?
No, I was always really. I always growing up. I always went to like art school during like during break between school and those type of things. But I was never like good. You know, I was always like, I don't know, like number 8 out of 10 people that were decent. You know, like there was always people that were better than me. But I always wanted to keep getting better and better. So I always like, you know, just ask people questions, and then, you know, got a little better every year. Got a little bit better and better, and you know, but I just kept trying. I'm just like, I don't have the talent, so I'm just gonna keep trying, working hard. Hopefully, working hard will get me there one day, and hopefully, it did. You know, which was awesome.
Yeah. Well, you know, that happened the same to me because it's not. I always say that it's not talent, right? Is hours of my ass in the computer, right?
Yeah,
Uh, is I call it ass work, you know. You know, just make sit your ass in the chair and learn, you know. That's it's not another way. Some people, so I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
some people have talent, you know, raw talent. uh,
No, you're right.
but
Some people do. I just happen to be not one of those people. So I just got to try harder.
yeah, yeah, I had that thing as well. I had to try very hard. Wasn't in me in the beginning. I had to learn anatomy and everything from scratch, and yeah, took a little bit of time. So, which one was your favorite movie that you work on?
That's tough, man, because I want to say what somebody asked me that recently, and I was a big double O Seven fan, you know. So James Bond growing up to me was like one of those movies that's like your Lord of the Rings, right? That's always like, oh man, so cool. Like 007 is awesome. I always watch those movies every time they came out. So when I had the opportunity to work on one of the like Skyfall,
Yeah,
it was like a dream come true, you know, because it was like, holy crap, I don't get to make monsters, but I get to make a character inside that movie, which is really cool, you know. So
yeah.
for me, I want to say probably that was one of the I guess like bucket list things, you know, to say like, oh,
Hmm.
I got to work on a 007 movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
What about you, man?
My one, the most fun movie I worked was Pacific Rim. For me, it was very fun. I
Oh,
had a
that's
blast.
awesome.
Working in that movie was a blast for me. Uh, the the movie that I think that was the only movie that I think that I work and is good is Togo from Disney. Is the one with the
Is that the one
dogs?
with the dogs?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool.
I like it. I had a lot of fun working in it because I had to study a lot. Was a lot of study involved in the anatomy and all that kind of stuff, so it was good. But also, the movie was nice. You know, I actually enjoyed it.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I guess another movie that I worked on, one of the last ones before moving to more tech work, is Godzilla, the King of Monsters. I got to
Oh,
work
that one was good.
on that movie
Yeah,
in at two different companies. At Method, I got to work on it a little bit, and also at ADI, so which was cool. So you know, I'm a huge Godzilla fan as well. So kaiju's and all that stuff was
nice.
another dream type of movie.
Yeah, I wanted to work in that one, but I couldn't. It was in Dineg as well, that movie.
Uh, yeah, I wish I would have worked on the first Godzilla that came out before this last one, but yeah, although I think all the work was being done overseas, so couldn't work on that one.
Yeah, now it's a lot of stuff doing overseas, right? Lately, companies
Yeah.
are shifting a lot of stuff.
So what is your point of view on reference? Do you work with reference? Do you not work with reference?
I use them, but I only use them when I stuck doing something. So, for example,
Hmm,
let's say I need to do a creature, I will not use reference until I get stuck.
I see.
Because I have a bad habit. I think that because I learn what I learn it from copy, right? I never had an instructor telling me what to where was the stuff, right? So I learned by copying drawings or things. Yeah, you know. So if I put a reference in front of me, I'm going to start copying it,
I
and
see.
that's you
Interesting.
know,
No, that's a good point. I always ask people because it's always how different approaches, right? Like how people use the reference. Some people copy directly and some people get inspired, or some people do 50-50. I'm kind of like 50-50. Like I'll look at it for inspiration and then not look at it and do some more work. And then, like you say, when you get stuck, you're like, how would I, solve this problem? And then
yeah,
kind of go back to the reference a little bit and solve it. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. The things that at the beginning I don't want to know if it's going to what's going to be the creature, right? I don't want to know what that. So I just want to do something. I have different ways of working. So each project I start in a different way. I know sometimes I use base meshes, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use I start from a sphere. Sometimes I have a kit bash kit as well that I use as well. So sometimes I always start in a different way, and so to keep my mind, kind of free, and depends as well what I need to do. If I need to do a zombie, well, I'm going to start from a base mesh. I'm not going to I'm not going to start from a sphere. But if I'm doing a creature that I don't know what it is, I will start with a sphere and a kit batch kit maybe. And if I want to do something in motion, probably sometimes I start from planes. I take a plane and I start from with the Sculptress Pro, drawing something from the Sculptress Pro. But always depends on what I use. And what I do normally, if I'm designing a creature, I will just start kit bash stuff or start with something. And when I get into a point where my creature, I already know that the creature is or a lizard or a mammal or a predator or what it is, I will start to find things in real life that I can use to make it look better, right? For make it look more realistic, kind of. Because always I have the feeling that you need to use something from real life to put in your creatures. In that way, you make the person who is watching it, feel connected to it at some point.
Yeah. No, that's a good way of creating.
Also, I like to use, for example, geometries. Like, for example, if I know that the creature is going to be mean, probably I will use something for the head. I will use the shape of an axe or the shape of an arrow or that kind of stuff. I like to do that stuff as well. How is your approach to design stuff? How you design things?
It really depends, right? Like if I'm doing it for somebody else, I kind of ask them to give me at least a base reference of what they want. Like, is it quadruped? Is it a human? Is it like,
right?
What is it inspired by? And then from there, I'll go. All I need is like one or two references from them. But if I'm doing it for myself, I tend to kind of just make something really rough, and then from there, kind of figure out, okay, this kind of looks like a crustacean, or it kind of looks like a horse, or it kind of looks like this, and then I go and look for reference, look at it, and then close it all up, and then kind of go back to the raw to kind of get inspired by shapes. And then once I get to a certain point, like if I want more specific details, like then I'll go back to the reference and figure out like, well, what's breaking up the surface? What are sharp and soft edges? Like that type of stuff to help me bring it back to like more realism.
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar. Actually, it's a very similar workflow.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like inspired and then get to work and then check reference and then get inspired, but not have the reference up all the time. Just more like just to kind of double check a few things and then go back to doing it, regular. Kind of like one of the reference that I have here is like this guy, right? I'm kind of looking at this crab mostly for like figuring out like where am I going to put like small little details or how thick some of the things are, like
right.
This edge is kind of like a hard edge, but there's little breakup. So I kind of maybe want to introduce some of that into what I'm doing, but then from there, I won't look at it. It's more just like pick and choose like little things that are help me design. So it doesn't feel all like the same type of material.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, we work in a very similar way.
Yeah. But I always like to ask people, because sometimes people are like, well, I don't look at reference at all. And some people it's like, I have to look at reference the whole time. It's like, okay, it's interesting.
Yeah. I know people that actually makes a what happened? What? Oh, house auto masking. Okay. Um, I know some people that makes an study of all the creature, right? Like something similar to what Terry Whitlatch does. That she actually
Hmm.
make a dissection of the creature.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
Um, she actually Terry Whitlatch, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She actually break down the character, all the anatomy of the creature and all that kind of stuff. It's more of a kind of investigation, no, how you call it, like yeah, more like a work of more of a paleontologist approach kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, kind of working from the inside out, right? Like dissecting it from all the different aspects. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cool, working that way as well.
Yeah, yeah. I would do that if I had more time. Most of the time
Yeah,
is
I don't
whatever
have that
comes my
time.
way, I just kind of go for it.
I don't have the time. That is the same problem with me, right?
Yeah.
All right. This is getting there. Trying to get smug face properly. The first time that I make a dragon that needs to look like another dragon. Normally, when you make dragons, you do whatever you want.
Right, but this one you have to make it look like a specific
Needs to,
dragon.
yeah, and he's a very iconic dragon. What do
That's
you think
cool, man.
about
That's
the
nice.
dragon in Games of Thrones?
I don't know, man. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I'm one of the only people I think in the world that hasn't really. I
Go!
think I watched like the
I'm
first
closing the
season.
stream right now. I'm going to turn it off right now. The stream. How you
You're like, I
didn't?
can't talk to you anymore. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I. Why?
No,
How,
I
how,
haven't. I haven't watched it, man.
how a
It's
dragon?
weird because I wanted to watch it, and I see screenshots here and there, and they look pretty good, but
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I need to sit down and watch that series.
I actually like it. I mean, I watch it because of course the dragons, right?
Yeah.
But I the things that I love medieval kind of fantasy stuff is kind of my thing.
Uh,
I, I love to design things that I know that will never exist. That's my thing. Or like I love backrim kind of creatures, and I love dragons. I love all that kind of things. Um, you know what I like? I like the idea of it's more visceral, right? It's not someone just shooting people. It's these guys need to kill each other with an axe, and that's an extra. That's extra. It's like it's more visceral fantasy.
yeah, yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's I gotta probably watch some more fantasy stuff, but yeah, I've been wanting to watch that, but I just don't have the time, especially having kids. It's tough to watch
You
things
should,
in large amounts.
but you should watch it with your kids.
Yeah, I
Oh,
probably should. They're probably yeah. I started watching Lord of the Rings. Well, there's so too much of a little sexy stuff happening sometimes,
true. It's,
but
it's true. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. Sometimes you forget about that, right? Because I'll be watching some show and it's like, oh, I have to turn it off because the kids are watching.
Yeah,
Can't watch that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
But
It's,
um,
it's,
but I
it's,
but I've
it's,
been
it's
introducing them to like Lord of the Rings.
Lord
Like
of the Rings
one
is
one thing
nice.
that I started watching with them. Yeah, one thing I started watching with them was all the Harry Potter movies.
Oh,
So I
they're
think those were
awesome.
kind of safe. Yeah, yeah, those are safe for kids
Yeah,
because they're kids in the show, so it's good enough. But I think I'll have to wait for all the other stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that ones are awesome. I mean, the Harry Potter movies are amazing. Harry Potter actually started the industry in UK pretty much. I mean, it was industry before, but Harry Potter was. He actually feed
Like put it on the
make
map, huh?
he put it in the map. Yeah, definitely. was was very good for the industry in UK. Actually, I think Double Negative got built, the company I'm now, by Harry Potter, right?
Oh wow, yeah, yeah, you're right.
Because the guys who built Double Negative, they were guys from NPC, and NPC was working in Harry Potter, and Double Negative started working in Harry Potter. So yeah,
Yeah, those are great movies, man.
actually they're very good. And I started to watch the other day. I was watching the other one, the Magic Beasts.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was
That
pretty good too.
that was pretty good as well. It was not bad.
Yeah, the one I wish they would make more of was shit, what is it called? I just had it, I can't remember.
It's a new one.
um no, no, it's an old like Spiderwick Chronicles, I'm not sure if you ever saw that one.
I oh yeah. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
wish there
now,
was more of those, like more spin-offs of that.
well, next year we have the TV shows of Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, we do. I didn't know that.
Oh
That
yeah,
sounds cool.
that's next year. I mean, Amazon bought
Wow,
the
that's gonna be
rights.
awesome. Oh, that's gonna be great then.
Amazon bought the rights for, I think that was 200 million.
Wow.
And the other one that I think that is going to happen, I read about it, was the Wheel of Time.
No, I don't.
Well, it's a series of 15 books or 14 books, fantasy books. They're amazing. They're better than Games of Thrones for me, at least.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna
They're
look forward to that
that
then.
that that ones are that one is very good. That one will be good. Oh man, what's going on? Go away. Oh, it's that thing. Um, yeah, that one's going to be good. Amazon is doing some good stuff as well.
That's cool, man.
They're doing video games
Have
now,
you been
man.
watching? Have you been watching the Boys on Amazon?
Yes. I need to see the
That's
last
another one
few.
I've been watching.
I need to see the last
Oh,
few
it's
chapters.
good. It's good. The last couple episodes, I've been amazed how dark they have gotten, and
Oh
I
really?
really love them. I think really
Nice,
really good. Yeah.
nice. I need to watch it, man. I need to watch that one. Oh man. So you're very busy at work now these days?
Yeah, pretty busy. It's a lot of stuff going on. So it's a lot of stuff that unfortunately I can't talk about too much, but
Nah, it's
it's
okay.
uh it's fun stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
The one that is going to be good, Dune is going to be a good movie. That one is going to be good.
Did that get pushed back to next year or is it coming out this year?
Yes. No, no, they push it back.
Oh man.
I think that I don't know for to until when, but they push it back. So you choose when you choose which printer you're going to use. Is like depending of the size or depends of what?
I think it depends. To be honest, it's mostly on how many people are using it, because if you look at the forums for each of the different companies and the different types of printers and I guess the types, like not types, I mean models, you look at to see what are people having issues with. You know, is it the actual machine? Is it just the settings, or is it like the troubleshooting? You know, which one has the most users, because that's the one that's going to get the most support. You know, companies are going to listen and people are going to improve. You know, they're going to improve the
Right.
quality of it. And sometimes when there's not, then maybe there's a more expensive or better printer or even more inexpensive, but there has no users. That means that has potential to die quicker. You know, like it
All
won't make
right.
it to like version 2 or any upgrades. So that means that you might get stuck with a machine that nobody's going to be using in 6 months from now. You know,
All right. So you need to
so
be
I
thinking
look
that
at
as
that
well.
more than, yeah, that I think that's more important, because then you can also look at alternative resins. Sometimes they're getting really, really cheap, but also sometimes they're no good, or people try them out right away and you could tell, oh, don't use that resin because it doesn't cure correctly or it doesn't do the right details, um, and those type of things. You know, so it's like almost like troubleshooting a bit. So looking at the, you know, like if you ask a question, there
Yeah.
might be already an answer, so it's easy for you to fix it. You know, and if there's a printer that people don't use much, then you might be asking, you might be the first person one asking, and nobody's going to give you an answer. You know.
Right. Because the Formlabs is one of the most used, right? The
Yes, yeah. So the Formlabs, it's one of the first ones that came out that's like really quality, you know, like nice, reliable printer. But
yeah,
now that all these other printers are coming out at a quarter of the price, you know,
yeah.
it's kind of worth looking into them. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. Instead of investing into a Form 3, which I was gonna buy, I
Mm-hmm.
invested into a couple other printers to see if I can get the same quality for the same price, you know, I
Right,
mean for like a quarter of the price. And
right,
then I could maybe buy two printers instead of buying one, or buy a larger printer, have a smaller printer, you know?
right. Well, I did that with the with the tablet because I used to have a Cintiq
Mm.
and I bought a Huion and
Mm.
actually I'm loving it. I used to have
Yeah, yeah.
I used to have the Cintiq 22. I used to have the Mobile Studio Pro, and I work in the. I actually work also in the 27 inches.
Mhm.
Um, but man, the Huion is working awesome. I can't complain.
And that's what it's all about, right? Trying something, because sometimes you never know. It's might work better and it's more efficient. Maybe you could, now you have money for more hobbies or for other things, you know, that still works the same and you can still use it.
I mean, the thing is that I love Wacom, but man, you can't be paying $3,000 for a tablet. You know,
Yeah, it gets expensive.
it's a bit too much, right, for a tablet. And I use them,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
use them a
it
lot.
is.
I use them a lot at work and all that kind of stuff, and I love them. There is stuff that is better than in another ones, right? For example, well, you have the touch thing and all that small things. But honestly, for my day-to-day work, for my concept art, for my ZBrush work, I use the Huion. Is $700 and it's working. It works very good.
That's good, man. No, it's good to know, because I didn't know what you were using. That's good that you have a good review for it.
Yeah, it's good. Honestly, I can't complain. The only thing that doesn't have is the touch in the screen, and maybe it's my model because it's another models that the newer models probably are better. The other thing that my other complaint was the calibration of the screen.
Mm.
But newer models have RGB. I think that 99% or something like that. My one had 94% or something like that. Took me a little bit to calibrate it and have it, see properly the colors.
I see.
Actually use Nvidia to set it up because I don't own a calibrator, but Nvidia have a software that helped me to get the right color calibration.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, and from there it's working pretty good. I don't have more complaints. Works good, man.
Yeah, I know. I had the same thing with I guess the cameras. Like for the longest time, I was only Canon user for almost all my career and since I owned the camera. And then
Yeah.
in the last 5 years, I switched to Fuji, which is a completely different brand and completely different system. And I ended up liking it way better than Canon.
All right. Is cheaper? So it's cheaper?
It's a little cheap. It's a little cheaper, but for some reason the quality feels so much better, and
Mm,
smaller, and it's nicer. There's a lot more options that Canon doesn't even offer. So things like
yeah.
that are nice when you discover things like that, like taking a risk on a new company that you haven't used before.
Yeah, it's all about, Canon didn't have. I mean, Canon. The only competition of Canon at some point was Nikon, right? Nikon now
Yeah,
is now Nikon is not doing very good now. Um, I mean, was the best ones I think at some point we were like Canon and Sony.
right.
I don't know what you think. You know more than me. I used to have Nikons, but lately I
No,
think
I
that
know what you mean.
Nikon.
I was actually going to go Sony, and then I found out some things about Sony that I didn't like, and I was like, Fuji seemed to do pretty good. So I'm like, let me try it. Worst case scenario, I don't like it a year later, I just sell it. But I
Yeah,
ended up liking it so much that it's like my main camera system now.
you had the mirrorless, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
I
I
bought
recently got a
the.
microscope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, going even deeper into the insects.
That's pretty good. I mean, if you have photos, I will take them. Is there very good
Yeah, yeah,
reference?
yeah. I actually want to make a book. So one of these days, I'll probably compile everything into one giant thing.
That would be very cool, man. It will be awesome reference.
Yeah.
I bought a GoPro because I was sick of taking care of the cameras each time that
Mm,
I went somewhere. I used to have reflex cameras, the DLR cameras,
mm.
and I just all the time I need to take care of it. I need to make sure that don't goes into the water, nothing happened to it. I say okay, I can't continue like that. It's just I'm going to buy a GoPro and that's it.
Well, they're good cameras. You could beat them up pretty well, and they take a good beating.
Yeah, yeah, they took a good beating. I already beat it up quite a bit and it's still alive.
Nice.
And they're good cameras. So I got the GoPro and a very good camera phone. So that's my setup.
Nice.
All right, this is slowly start to look like smoke. Slowly.
Nice. It's looking good, man.
I had the full body here. Where's the body? Body's there. I think that the wings need to be bigger maybe. But I think that should be fine. And you live you live always in LA, or you change places?
No, I always lived in LA. I grew up in LA, so for me, it's kind of where the industry was. So I kind
Mm,
of always stayed here. But now that anybody can work from anywhere, I'm actually thinking about moving out of LA because it's so expensive here.
yeah, yeah. Come to Canada.
Maybe you never know.
Hey man, it's free it's free medicine.
Yeah, you can't say no to that.
Canada is pretty good. I actually Vancouver is very good. The only bad part is that it's very expensive to buy a house in here.
Mm.
Get a house here is very very expensive. I mean, probably like LA, LA. I don't imagine that buying a house in LA is cheap.
No, it's too expensive, man.
All right, this guy. For now, this could be fine. Let's see the other proportions. Maybe I need to move this down.
So, what is your method for doing scales on something like this guy?
Like this guy.
Yeah.
It's different ways. Some people like to do it in Mari, paint the scales.
Hmm.
But in my case, because I don't know if I want to do it in Mari. I will probably make some vector brushes and use them for create scales.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I
Yeah, I
will do
always
that.
prefer to have everything in the mesh. I don't like having everything that's like half ZBrush and half like Mari displacements. I like to have everything in the mesh
I
just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, when I paint something in Mari, I always bring it into ZBrush. So if I paint the scales in Mari, for example, I use any maps or something to paint them. I will bring that as a displacement in ZBrush and project it in ZBrush.
Nice.
So I don't use it. I mean, also this is to get 3D print, so it needs to be in the mesh, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the way I always think about that. Like if it's in the mesh, then all I have to do is just hollow it and ready to print.
The thing is that nowadays in production, I mean, something that I need to fight all the time is that lots of people wants to fix things in LookDev, right, instead of in the model because it's faster.
Hmm.
Like for example, if they want, if the guys have a burn arm, instead of going into the guy and make a sculpt of the arm burn and have all that wrinkles and that burning feeling, they do it in LookDev because they want to have fast iterations into it. But I don't know. I prefer to have all of that into a serious displacement. The quality is always higher,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I look at it too. Just and it's easy to adjust too, so it's not a big deal.
But nowadays that in production, for example, I'm working in a movie now that we are animating, we are doing everything, and we still changing the model.
Mm.
We still having design changes, and everything needs to get updated all the time. That's still happening. It's like the times got shorter as well, right? It's no more like movies that takes you a couple of years to do. Now everything is.
Yeah, everything gets cut on short. I remember working on was upcoming, and they cut our times way too close,
Yeah.
compared to the estimates we were giving them. It's just like, yeah, every production just they want everything faster.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's no more like 2 years movies anymore.
No, it's more like 6 months, and you're like, it better be as good as 2 years.
Yeah, man. Here William is saying good night. Good night, William.
See you guys. Whoever's leaving. It was great hanging out with you guys. But yeah, it's been great, man. I love this stream. It's fun. It's been fun chatting and like doing this.
Yeah,
How
you do
long do you usually go
something.
for?
I don't know until you get tired and until you wanna go. I mean,
Okay.
we can finish if you want. Is you? I imagine that you want to be your family now.
Yeah, we could go like 10 more minutes. Go till 9
Yeah.
just to
Okay. Cool.
have a
Sounds good.
nice.
You're doing some streams as well, right?
Yeah. So I do streaming for Pixelogic like every other week. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
on Sunday mornings. Yeah, and then I'm doing streams where like like people like you just kind of randomly in between the week just to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Nice. How are the streams for Pixelogic? That are going good?
Yeah, they've been fun, man. It's just a lot of people have a lot of questions about like different ways of doing things and that type of stuff. So it's always good to kind of stop and also sometimes look at your own workflow and be like, you know what, there's another way to do this and try it out. And sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. But it's a good I guess there's different levels of questions, so it's good.
That's cool, man. That's very cool. Nice. I need to get this Dragonflash out faster because if not, I'm going to be for years doing this thing. I have too many scales, man. I have too many stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to get through, so you gotta push.
Way too many.
Yeah, that's one
stuff.
thing for me. Like since in production, sometimes you take a while to get stuff done. Sometimes for me, when I do stuff for home or my own stuff, I don't like spending a lot of time on it. Like I want
Me
to
either.
kind of get it done because if not, I get bored and I just move on to another project and leave a lot of projects undone because
Well,
I lose interest.
Honestly, when I started streaming, I started to do okay. I started to do 2 hour concepts. So let's say I'm going to show you. I did here. I always worry to press the wrong folder because of things I can't show. Here. So I did, for example, the first one that I did in the first stream was this guy. Oops, that guy. Because I don't like to spend too much time in something. I want to do something, and done, and go to something else. And the second one that I did for the second stream was this girl.
Okay, that's cool.
So I was trying to do, something where what I can do in 2 hours. That's it. That was the brief.
Nice.
I need to, and now I'm doing another one that now is the same zombie. It's for this short film. We need to create the characters and that kind of things. And I'm doing the full zombie, and as well as a concept, and that one is taking a bit longer because I wanted to try something different. So what's the name of your kids? How you call them?
One of my oldest is named Zenith.
What?
And my youngest is named Zenith. Zenith. Yeah, like like the old TVs back in the 80s, 90s. Like there was a TV brand named Zenith. But that's not the reason I call her Zenith because it's
okay.
and the other one is called Phoenix.
Oh, nice. That's a good name. They have good names.
Yeah, I figured I'd give them unique names, that are kind of cool and very different. So why not?
I have a friend that actually called her daughter Valkyria.
Oh, that's an interesting name. Never heard.
That's
of
a good name, right?
Yeah.
Like the Valkyrias from the Vikings.
Nice.
That's a good name.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have
My
any kids, right?
no, not yet.
What would you call them if you had a name for them?
Oh, I would call it something weird like I like I don't know lion or something like that. But my girlfriend will not let me. My girlfriend will not let me. Zeus or I wanted to call it Maximum from the movie Gladiator.
Oh, nice. That would be cool.
That's a good name. Like I love that movie. That movie is amazing. I love that movie. Yeah, but my girlfriend wants to call it Benjamin. I don't like the name Benjamin, but it's her choice.
Yeah, it's kind of it's common, right? It's like it's you probably know a few Benjamins and yeah.
Yeah, it's one more name, right? I I want to call it like something like Phoenix or how what else can be Dragon, Draco. Oh, that's a good name. You call it Draco. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
I will need to do some convincing there in that front. Any plans for the weekend? What you're going to do this weekend?
Uh, let's see. I don't know, man. Just try to enjoy the sun. Try to hang out and maybe go to the beach. I don't know. We don't really go anywhere. So especially with this COVID stuff. But if we find
Yeah,
that the beach is nice and maybe empty, or maybe just go really early in the morning. Just to
yeah,
go outside and then come back home if it starts to get too full.
yeah, man. Oh, that's why.
How about you? How about you? What are you up to this
Oh.
weekend?
This weekend, I'm going camping
Oh,
because
nice.
it's the last. Probably it's going to be one of the last weekends that is going to be warm enough to camp. So I will go camping. Hopefully, if the weather is good enough.
Very cool.
Yeah, I want to do some fishing. Relax, go away from the computer for a little bit. I kind of need to go away from the computer time to time. That's the nice thing about Vancouver. The outdoors are super good. I mean, for people who likes to go to the mountain, trekking, climbing, that kind of thing. This is a pretty good playground.
That's good, man. Gotta come up there sometime once we can actually travel.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can come to my house. You are always invited.
Nice. Yeah, same thing. And hopefully, next year they have a summit, we can hang out again.
Yeah, I honestly I want to see if I can go to some of the Monster Palooza, one of them. But sometimes I forget about them. I'm not very good with remembering days and that kind of things. And I forget that it's in that time or that time of the year, and I never end up going.
Mm.
So I was thinking next year I really want to go to Monster Palooza, one of those.
Oh, you should, man. Well, if you do come out, we'll hang out.
Yeah, 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 man. Maybe I have this sculpture finished and I can show it. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It will take me a
Be a
couple of.
nice little sculpture to have.
It's going to take me a couple of months, but I started to lately to hang out with lots of people that are actually Argentinians that are working in collectibles.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They're
Are
doing
most of
all.
them in Argentina or they're all over the world?
They are in Argentina. They work. One is in Spain and the other ones are in Argentina. And they do some super cool stuff, man. They work for Prime One, SciShow, you know.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So they started to introduce me to all of these 3D printing stuff that I didn't know about, and it's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Also, I like all the because they have they it's like it's not like the movie industry, you know, that is less, you know, it's kind of less drama, you know, it's less stories behind it, you know what I mean, between people, because
Mhm.
you know, if the movie is bad, you know, we don't care, right?
Right.
I mean I never care if the movie is bad and critics talk bad about the movie, you know, it's fine.
Yep.
uh, but actually, you know, when people is making reviews of the sculptures, they actually, some of them, they're killing the sculpture, and the sculpture could be awesome, but it's just this person that is just talking bad about something, you know, and affects a lot the artist.
Oh, wow. That's interesting, man. That's very different than VFX.
Yeah, it's super different, right? It's very personal. You know, in VFX we don't care that much. I mean, we care about our work,
Yeah,
but we
it's
don't
it's
we
it
don't we don't care if the movie is not good, right?
yeah, it's out of our hands, right? Like some things we can't do anything about.
I mean, if the VFX are nice, I'm happy with it. You know, if my work looks okay, you know, I will get I'm happy. And if the movie is no the script is no good and that kind of stuff, you know, well, you know, no my that's not my job.
Right.
So how's going your thing, your creature? See,
Oh,
you
not too
can see.
bad. Just it's getting there. Just had a weird glitch where it duplicated the wrong sub tool, but it's okay. Yeah, got a lot of stuff done, you know. It's got most of the head done, just got to work on the body now.
Nice. You know, that's the nice thing about the stream stuff. When you're streaming, it's like 2 hours that you just concentrating doing the stuff while you're talking. So it gets, so normally I get distracted. You know, after working, after work, I get
Yeah.
distracted. You know, your brain is tired of working all day, and your brain is trying to make excuses to stop for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But if you're streaming, you know, you know that, you know, you need to be doing something, so you are actually forcing your brain to work. It's kind of okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're not just going out for coffee and then coming back 30 minutes later and didn't really do
Yeah,
anything. You have to actually produce something.
exactly.
Well, this was awesome, man. We should if you ever want to do it again, just let me know.
Anytime, man. Yeah, let's do it again. I mean, you know, even if we don't do it, even if we don't do it in a stream, you just want to do it, you know, doing, because this time, you know, that's what I'm doing with some of my friends. You know, they are working their stuff and working my stuff, and we just, you know, have a call. But of course we don't share screens because we can't share the screens if we are working, but we start to have
Right.
some talk and work, you know, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
for
we
sure.
we can do it in
Yeah,
the
this was great,
stream.
man. I'm totally down.
Let's do it again. I mean, I'm going to just continue doing every Thursday, so you know.
Cool. Well, once you have yeah, we'll do it soon. We'll schedule something.
Yeah, man, let's do it again. And awesome, thank you for Cam. You're always awesome.
You too,
And
man.
thanks a lot. And yeah, and I will be asking you lots of stuff about printing this thing, because I don't have a clue how I'm going to do it.
When you're ready, just let me know.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys. Until the next one. See ya. Bye bye.